Hi, everyone. I wanted to offer to you today, and perhaps on repeated days, a gentle moves class that does not require any props. And in fact, I won't be wearing shoes today. But if you would like to step up your resistance and add handheld weights, that's great. And I do recommend that you wear shoes if you are holding dumbbells or canned food for a little more resistance work. But today I'm going to keep it simple and I hope you enjoy it. Please feel free to leave feedback in the comments. I do recommend having water handy to hydrate as often as you would like. And then also at the end, I have, many of you know, these the self myofascial release balls that you can use with the wall, behind shoulder, behind hips, behind glutes. I really encourage you to use these every day before and or after your workouts. And that being said, we'll get started. I will be using a wall today for a standing version of push-ups. If you'd rather go to the floor and do push-ups there, that's great. You can also do this entire workout seated if you'd prefer. I will be standing the entire 35-ish minute class. So enjoy, keep moving, and take care, everyone. Here we go. So we're going to start standing on your right foot, finding your balance. And we're just going to start lubricating the left hip by giving it a little bit of movement in a circular motion. Bringing awareness to your core muscles, belly button to spine, breathing, standing tall. Change the direction of your circles. Anytime you need to put that left foot down like I just did, of course, that's okay. If you'd rather hold on to a wall, you're welcome to do that as well, or a chair for a prop. So we're working the standing leg muscles, warming up, as well as lubricating the moving leg hip. Hold the knee to the front and little ankle circles in one direction and then the other direction. Lift a little higher and float the leg down, standing tall and switching sides. Just add a little movement into the right hip. Wobbling maybe like I just did. It's all part of the practice. Working on our balance, changing the direction of the leg circles. Breathing, standing tall, always bringing the awareness back into the core, and hold the knee to the front, ankle circles in one direction. Still standing tall, ankle circles in the other direction. Floating the leg down, shake it out. All right. So then we're going to take this movement into the hips, the little hip circles. This brief class is intended as a warm-up. It does not require a warm-up. I probably should have said that in the introduction. Changing direction of the circles. This would be a good warm-up class to a more heavy-duty workout if you would like, or maybe a run or a bike ride, or wherever you are headed today. Come to stillness with the hips. And we're going to take a little bit of a plie or a wide stance squat. Shoulder rolls in one direction. And then add the elbows. This is all if it works for your shoulders. And then full arm circles. Just brushing the legs with the fingertips as you come through. Next one, belly button to spine, hold at the top. And then we'll take it in the opposite direction, starting with the full arm circles. Into elbows. Into shoulders. And then we'll change direction one more time. Shoulders. Elbows. If your quadriceps are having enough of this squat, you can always straighten the legs. Full arm circles. Notice the neck muscles, maintaining softness there. Hold at the top. And other direction. And elbows, you should be feeling a little warmer in the shoulders by now. And just the shoulders. And I like to end with an open. So shoulder rolls twice in the backwards direction, and then straighten the legs out, shake it out. We're going to stand in a first position, turned out. I'll stand back so you can see my feet a little bit. And we're going to take a plie into a releve. Just a little ballet coming into our workout. This is great for calf strengthening all the way up through the leg musculature. It's good for balance. Next one, hold at the top, hold your balance. And flat, and then come into that plie again. From here, we're going to hold this version of a squat, a plie, and lift one heel and then the other. Keeping the hips low. Remember, you can hold a chair or a counter or the wall for stability. Belly button to spine. And now for balance, hold both heels up and then little pulses, keeping the heels up. Incorporating a little bit of a bar class here into this gentle moves. Breathing. Tucking the tailbone under, belly button to spine. And slowly lower the heels and straighten the legs. Coming into parallel. And here we are, lifting, relevating repeatedly. So you should be feeling it in the calf muscles. And now next time, hold the heels up. See if you can hold your heels up, suspending the heels off the floor as you bend the knees. Coming into this parallel version of a plie. Woo! Little pulses. Feeling the core, feeling the quads. We can forget our core muscles here very easily. So let's bring some awareness into all the belly muscles, drawing them into spine, protecting your back, strengthening your core. Should be feeling nice warm work going on in the quads. Heels are still up. If you need to lower them, that's fine. And hold this next one at the bottom and slowly melt the heels down and rise on up. Shake out. Either with a wall for support or out here in the middle of the floor, we're going into a folding chair to stretch out the hips. Breathe into it. Carefully come up and switch sides. This can very easily be done seated in a chair, or if you prefer, seated on the floor. And carefully come up, shake it out. Coming into lunges. I'm going to take one foot back. Again, hold the wall for support if you'd like. Check that your front knee is directly over the ankle. And we're going to lower the back knee towards the floor and lift. I'll turn sideways so you can see the orientation a little better. I think many, if not all of you, are very familiar with these lunges, but I just wanted to remind anyone who may need a little refresher. That front knee is staying directly over the ankle. We're modifying as you see fit for your knees. You should feel a nice stretch in the back leg hip flexor, as well as some really good work in the hip muscles, the glutes, the front quadricep. And we'll hold this next one at the bottom. Carefully come up, shifting to the other side. I'll just pivot. Feet are parallel, nice tall spine. And just check your alignment again. Lowering that back knee towards the floor. Honor your body. Getting a stretch while we strengthen. And hold this next one towards the bottom, towards the floor. Lift up and shift forward. Shake it out. We'll give the legs a little rest here and just get a little light movement into the body. Again, if you're holding weights, that's fine. We're just going to take an alternating side to side reach. So we're getting a little bit of a twist in If you'd like to add a little bit more of hamstring work, you can kick back with the leg you're reaching away from. So we're working on a little balance. Your heart rate may have come up, and that's okay. This is not a cardio class per se, but an elevated heart rate is okay, as long as you're still able to breathe and carry on a conversation comfortably. So always modifying to your needs. We're going to keep that leg kicking back, but take the arm overhead as long as your shoulders are okay with an overhead reach. Neck muscles are soft. Core muscles are engaged. Breathing comfortably. When I set up this live session, I indicated it was not for kids, but I really thought hard about that. I think that this workout would be fine if you want to do the workout with kids of most ages. I took a Zoom class recently, and I was just, I just felt really good seeing that there were kids doing the workout with their parents at home. And I thought this is one that would work for that. So keeping that in mind. And release. Bringing the arms up to the big X. We're going to do a little drop suspend. And by that I mean, as we come down into our plie, we're going to allow gravity to take us down. And then float up, suspend. You take as deep of a plie or knee bend as you see fit. And although most of the focus here, the movement, is in the extremities, bring some awareness into your core muscles. Every time you stand up, getting a little taller, lengthen through your abdominal muscles, drawing them into spine, and breathing comfortably. One more time. Hold at the top, big powerful X. Reach out through your fingertips. I know my hands are probably off the screen. Reaching out, drawing belly button to spine, and then float the arms down with resistance. Keeping our wide stance, we're going to extend the arms out to the side. Again, if you'd like to do this with weights, you're welcome to. I'm going to be reaching out through my fingertips, no weights involved. Circling the arms. And then change the direction of your circles. Relax your neck muscles. Float the arms down. Bring the legs together. I'm going to bring all my weight onto the right foot. So I'm balancing. I'm going to alternate one arm reaching forward and one to the side, alternating sides. So we're challenging balance while we bring a little range of motion into the shoulders. Again, with or without weights. If you're holding weights, we'll bring them into the chest or close to your core, bringing your hands together. Extend your left leg back. We're going to come into our warrior three pose. Great work, stability work for the standing leg. You can hold on to a prop if you'd like, a chair, a wall. This hip hinge, we're going to take into a little bit of movement now. So as you come up, we're going to lift the knee and then extend back. You can make this as big or as small as you would like. You should be feeling the work in your standing leg. I had to put my foot down there. And on this next one, we're going to hold with the knee to the front. You can use your hands to support the leg there and squeeze gently the leg, the knee, in towards your upper body. You can hold the thigh, the shin, or hold onto a chair or wall with one hand and draw the leg in with the other. And slowly lower. We're going to give that right leg a little bit of a rest now. Standing on the left leg. Whew. Finding the balance. And then we're going to alternate. Arms, one arm forward, one arm side. Just notice any differences left and right. It's a good opportunity to even out our strength and our balance on each side of the body in a gentle way. And breathing, core engaged. And then we'll take the hands or weights down to our core, our center. And we're going to extend that back leg out to airplane or warrior three. And bring the knee up. Each transition. This is definitely a more challenging side for me. And just acknowledge where it is for you today. Maybe this is your stronger side, or maybe they're really even. It's rare that I have a day where I'm even left to right in strength and balance and flexibility. I'm just checking in here. Do one more. Holding your right knee into chest, again with one or two hands. I don't know about you, but my left ankle is definitely feeling that stability work more than the right one did. Belly to spine, and float down, and shake it out. We're going to come to a wall now for push-ups. Again, if you'd like to come to the floor for full push-ups, you're welcome to. I'm going to do a little progression here by lifting one leg and doing one leg suspended for the wall push-up. And I'm going to do 5 on each side with each leg lifted. So make it yours. Keeping a straight body. Belly button to spine. I know I sound like a broken record, but it's important to remember the core, protecting your back. Once you've done 5 on each side, or maybe 10, depending on where your foot positioning is, we're going to get a little water break, and we're going to do it again. So you may want to progress or give yourself more resistance, or regress if that was a little bit too much. So making it yours. I'll do both legs on the floor for this one and do 10. My elbows are out, but if you prefer more of a chaturanga style push-up, you can have elbows in. But for wall push-ups, for me, elbows out feels better. So make it yours. Ensuring that your head is not leading the way here. There's always that temptation to get closer to the wall by tipping your head forward. And either getting a sip of water or taking a little stretch. One arm across the body, and then the other. We'll do one more set. So either progressing or regressing your last set of 10 push-ups. In gentle moves, we stay standing the whole class, so I'm going to stay true to that, but it doesn't mean you have to. This is your workout. 10 more. Here we go. Shake it out. We're going to give our upper body a rest now and come into a wall sit. So I'll use this wall back here. Don't forget to hydrate. We will do some arm movement from the wall sit. So I'll demonstrate for you what that looks like. You can go ahead and start anytime, coming down to up to a 90-degree angle in the knees. And what I'm going to be doing with my arms, I'm going to turn around and show you facing front, but I'll be doing this at the wall. I'm going to try to touch the backs of my hands to the wall. Don't worry if your hands are forward, that's okay. This involves a lot of rotation in the shoulder socket. So we're going to draw the elbows down towards our side. Again, hands as close to the wall as they'll go. Slide them up and slide them down. It's as simple as that. You can do this with weights if you'd like, but this range of motion can be very challenging for many people. So again, don't feel badly if your hands are not touching the wall. Also, we're holding that wall sit. Some of you have been holding it for a while now, so if you need to come out, take a break, come back into it, you're always welcome to do that. This should be very challenging for the quadricep muscles. So my arms are in a big W shape. I'm going to slide them up the wall and down, keeping the backs of the fingernails and the backs of the hands against the wall if you can. Again, a lot of you may be right here. That's okay. You can work on this every day, keeping the shoulders open. Breathing. And then, keeping the elbows out, we're going to rotate the arms down and up. I'll come demonstrate it to you. Yes, it came out of my wall sit. You can too if you'd like. This is the motion I'm talking about that we're going to do at the wall. So take a break from your wall sit if you need to. Come back into it. Maybe take a progression coming towards that 90-degree angle, or maybe a regression. Maybe your legs need a little bit of a rest here while we work this rotation of the shoulder socket. So I'll take a regression. How about that? My back is nice and flat against the wall. I'm going to rotate the arms down and up. Continue here, and then play with this if you'd like, alternating one and then the other. So I'll show you what that looks like facing you. This is where I am on the wall. Many of you know that, is it 4 years ago now, I had frozen shoulder in one of my arms, one of my shoulders. It was painful. Some of you have been through it as well. This was one of the therapies to help me move out of that condition. And it's a great preventative measure to keep me from, or all of us, from our shoulders freezing up. It's not easy, at least not for a lot of us. I want to hold this next one up and then float the arms down. Oh my goodness, that felt good to release from. Shoulder roll. We're going to do a neck release from here. So I'm going to stand back where you can see me. Standing tall, I'm going to let the left ear melt towards the left shoulder. You may already feel the right side of your neck releasing. So make it work for your body. Either stay here or extend your right arm out to the side, pressing your right palm towards the floor. Really pressing down with the arm. That enhances the stretch on the right side of the neck. Stay here or circle the arm and feel how that small movement translates to a different release of your neck muscles. I think we all deserve neck releases with all the tension that we've had and continue to have. Change directions on the right arm circle. You may even notice when you swallow or move your jaw that there's a release of muscles there as well. Bring the right arm to stillness, floating it down. Allow the crown of your head to rise. Pause for a moment. Feel the differences in the left and right side of the neck. And then allow your right ear to melt towards your right shoulder. Stay here or extend the left arm out and pressing my left palm actively towards the floor. Little circles optional of the left arm. Breathing. Some engagement of the core muscles to protect your back. Change directions on that circle. Notice if the jaw is clenching. Find some softness there. Come to stillness with your arm, floating it down. Allow the crown of your head to rise. And now to even out left and right, let's allow the chin to melt towards the chest. And let the head be heavy. That can be pretty intense for a neck and upper back muscle release. Notice how as you breathe in, that release feels very different than it does on the exhalation. So just be aware of that. Take a few more breaths here. And allow the crown of the head to rise. We're going to take some breath with arm movement. Inhale, reach out and overhead. Expand through the lungs. Exhale, press down. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale here, but allow the arms to stay up. We're going to gently grasp the right wrist with the left hand and reach up and overhead. Slight bend to the knees. Core is engaged. We're stretching out the right side body. And keep that stretch going. Full breath in. Exhale to center. Switching sides. Gently clasping your left wrist with the right hand. And just noting any differences left and right side. No judgment. Just notice if one is maybe looser, tighter than the other. Again, notice the jaw, all the muscles there. Find some softness. And in the eyes as well. Come on back to center, floating the arms down. And find your nice wide stance, hands to the thighs. We're going to be nice and tall in the spine as we take a little twist. One shoulder coming in towards the floor. To center. Other side. One more time to each side. Coming back to center, roll on up, shoulder rolls back, and come into the wall for a calf stretch. I'm going to press into the wall, bring one foot back, and then one foot up the wall. As high up on the wall as your body will allow. And then we're going to play with different versions of a calf stretch. We can bend the back knee and straighten it. So focusing on the calf muscles of the back leg. It's version number 1. And now we're going to step that back leg a little bit more forward, closer to the wall. So first I'm going to flatten the front foot, bring the back foot forward, and then replace the front foot, the original foot, up the wall. We're going to lift onto the ball of the back foot and bring the hips forward towards the wall. A little bit micro back bend here as we lift the sternum up to the ceiling and feel the stretch in the calf muscles of the foot, of the leg with the foot on the wall. If that makes sense. And breathe. Carefully release, and we'll switch sides. So starting with the leg further from the wall, 1 foot up the wall. We're going to bend the back knee and straighten. Feeling maybe a stretch in the back calf, although we just stretched that calf on the wall, so you may not feel it as much as you did on the first side. Everyone's different. Carefully release, step that back foot forward somewhat. The second foot is up the wall. Lift onto the ball of the back foot, and then shift your hips towards the wall. Sternum lifts to the sky. It's this little back bend while we stretch out the calf muscles of the front leg. And carefully come off the wall. It might feel good to give yourself a couple ankle rolls in each direction on each foot. We're going to do a stretch with the arms behind the back. I just grabbed my curtain tie to help with this. If you can interlace your fingers behind you and make that happen, great. But if you'd like a little prop, you can hold a towel, a tie, anything that's accessible to you. We're going to reach the arms behind us. Our heart rate should be down to resting. So we have some options here. If your heart rate is still a little bit elevated, you want to keep your heart above your hips. I'm going to bend my knees slightly and hinge forward and start to lift those arms away. And if you're familiar with the forward fold in this particular stretch and that works for you, you can take that here and reaching the arms overhead. If you have a sensitive lower back, I recommend even more bending to the knees. Carefully rise on up. I'm going to set my prop aside, hands to the thighs. We'll do a few cat-cows from a standing position. So as you exhale, coming into cat pose, and as you inhale, coming through neutral spine and into cow. For some of you, you may want to limit that range of motion. If you've had back injuries or surgeries, so always finding the range of motion that works for you. Some of you may want to pause as well. If you find a sticky spot, for me, it's always at the top of this cat pose. I feel a really positive, good stretch just above the hips. That's where a lot of my tightness is. So I'm going to pause here and breathe, but keep moving if you'd like. And let your neck muscles be soft. Returning to neutral spine, we'll take a lateral curve of the spine. Looking over your right shoulder towards your right hip. You can tuck your right hip towards your shoulder as well. So we're making a lateral C curve in the spine. That may release for you a lot of tension above the left hip, or you might feel it elsewhere. Coming through center and over to the other side, lateral curve. And back to center. Either straight spine up or roll up to standing. We'll do a little hand and wrist release. First, giving yourself some jellyfish-like motion with your hands and wrists. We're going to do what I call the rock climber stretch, but it has many other names. We're going to take, I'll try to turn where I can have a little more of a view of the hand. Fingertips towards the floor, gently pulling them away from the wrist. And then same wrist with the fingers up towards the sky. That's my timer for the end of class, but I'm not going to skimp out on this last wrist. So fingers towards the floor. Come over here where you can see it better. And And then fingers up to the sky. And then a couple more jellyfish-like motions here. Keep our wrists and hands happy. Let me know if you try this class with kids. I think it's important that we keep moving together during this difficult time. And I sure look forward to being with you in person. But until then, we'll keep providing different means of motion and health here at Pure Training Studio. And feel free to share with others. Take care, everyone. Hope to see you soon.